Good evening, Dr. Papa here, and it is time to show off the complete build that was submitted for DV's fantasy build. I did my submission earlier today, but I wanted to walk through all of the folks that might want to come visit so that they can see the island in its entirety from the eyes of the primary builder. Now, I say primary builder because this was a family build. My lady in real life, Mrs. Tell, was a key contributor. She worked specifically on the gardens and a couple of the trees in the marketplace. She did a lot of the overall look and feel for some of the smaller trees, the saplings, if you will, and certainly could not have been able to get all the foundations done without her wonderful help on getting the foundations accomplished. So definitely a huge contributor for helping get the build done. Also in the build team was my granddaughter, Neon Snow Lovers 2. She is a prolific islands builder that has done a lot of things over there. She was both an advisor on other aspects as well as a primary architect on a couple of the huge trees in the marketplace. So let's start taking a look at the island overall. I specifically start things off so that when people land, they land right here at this place. They get an idea of you're in a forested area, but there is much more to show. So instead of going downhill first, that will be towards the end of the video, we're going to turn around and start heading for the gates. These gates were also done by my granddaughter. She did the main building there. I took care of doing the walls around the city, and the entire build team collaborated a great deal on all of the different aspects going on. We were constantly talking to each other about our opinions about what worked and didn't work. So as we come into the city, we have just a little kind of an entry area here with a bit more of the wall going around inside. We have a welcoming fountain for folks. Now I'm going to shut off the lights so you can see the difference at night as well as in day. And we really wanted the lights to be able to come through and show off a lot about the build. So the remainder of this video, I'm going to primarily keep it in night so that you can see where we've put all the different colored lights. And hopefully that will get you an idea of what we were going for. As you come to the crossroads here, you can either go straight ahead to the marketplace of trees in that direction, and off to the right you have a further choice between either going into Galadriel's garden or off to the Lord and Lady's tree. We're going to start by going into the garden. Love the lighting on this gate. So some of the inspiration for how the interior of the garden was laid out is out of Bouchart Gardens in Victoria, British Columbia, where they have sections of specified plants and flowers and so forth. So we congregated our snapdragons, poppies, some of the cherry blossoms, and so forth into different sections throughout the garden going around. We've got a little pond at the back here. Got some interior lighting to the pond to make the colors pop really nicely. And you'll see around the edge we have strategically placed some of the rainbow poppies to give it a bit more lighting from the natural light from the rainbow poppies. Similarly, those encircle the top of the hill, kind of denoting the borders, if you will, with the rainbow poppies. We have a small fountain in here, and we have a small bird bath over here on the side. Bunch of cherry blossoms going up their respective hills. And up here at the top, we have, representing the mirror of Galadriel, we have the portal. And I took the original portal, made it frameless, and then built this holder of a fountain as if it was the mirror of Galadriel. Yes, it's the operating portal, so if I go through that, I'm going to pop over to the Citadel. Not what I intend to do at the moment. But I thought it really brought kind of the essence of a magical look to the garden. I really like the way that it flows through and kind of makes the bottom of the fountain neon type colors. As we come out of here, we're going to turn to the right to the Lord and Lady's tree, along with some saplings on the way. I did make a video earlier about how we were doing the saplings and how we got the lighting structure in there. Going through this gate, I have to tell you, building a gate on a 45-degree angle with the path was a bit of a pain in the tuchus. Nevertheless, we got it done. We've got it trimmed nicely. We've got it lit nicely, and so forth. So coming around, we've got the Lord and Lady's tree around on the other side of this pond. Now, the flowers and stuff that you see around, we did no placement of those. We basically controlled placement during the initial few days of the build to get the garden the way that we wanted it, and we've just allowed the flowers to grow wherever they happen to grow for the remainder of the build. So this ramp runs up most of the way. Oh, my fault. I forgot a part down here at the bottom. Naturally, if you have a Lord and Lady's tree, you want to have places for your sentries or guards to be. So underneath the stairs here, there's a guard room in here. They can eat, play cards, whatever. Back in the back, they've got their sleeping quarters with each of them having their chest, their weapons at the ready, etc. Got some nice crown molding around the top of our rooms there. All right. Heading back up the ramp to the Lord and Lady tree. It's a bit of a run up here. I wanted to make everything foot accessible for people visiting the island that might not have access to the flight attribute. So we have the last guard chamber up here for the two senior guards. Got a little bit of reading material. They also have a table, their beds, their weapons, etc. Popping over here, we have the last bit of how to get up to the audience chamber in this ladder. We run up the ladder into the audience chamber that is hosted way up in the trees. I'm going to switch it back to daylight briefly so that you can see you've got a nice view of the horizon going out while you're having an audience with the Lord and Lady. So there's definitely this sense of being elevated. We have a bit of a study in here. Naturally, the Lord and Lady are both, Lord Celeborn and Lady Galadriel are majorly into scholarly pursuits, so they had to have a personal library here at the top. Then they have a smaller library with more of a joint sitting room on the side. And then their personal chambers are up this spiral staircase. Much easier to get to these residences if you have flight when you come to visit my island. But if you don't have flight, you're more than fine to cruise around on foot because you can get to all of the locations by walking. So private chamber, a little bit of a treasure chest. Again, some books and scholarly materials for them. A bit of a lounge area. And also being able to see out in pretty much all directions from their lofty quarters. Now, I'm not going to walk all the way back down simply because I could easily just jump off, but we want to get most of the experience. So I'm going to go down here, and now we have walked back out of the Lord and Ladies. We are looking across at the marketing complex and a little bit of a security outpost. We're going to pop around first to the security outpost and then take on the market, as many of the trees there are all linked together one way or another, and we want to show those connections as a whole. Again, gate going across this bridge. following the path can go to either one of the main marketing trees with ramps going up either one. We will do that shortly. But first we're going to pop across to the sentry post over here. Heading up into the sentry post, you will notice that quarters are a little bit on the stark side. That's because these are primarily focused on doing the mission of what they're there for. They're there as a lookout, but they still have a little bit of ability to relax. They've got their bunk beds in here to allow both of the soldiers to be at the ready, and their weapons are ready for them as well. Going on up in the actual outlook itself, being able to look out to the far horizon, using their elf sight, they could see anything that was coming in the direction of Caras Galadhon. Coming back out of the sentry tree, I'm going to go up into this first tree here. Running up the ramps. Okay, as we get near the top, we've got a door that goes partway into the tree and then stairs to get on up to the actual buildings. We start off first place in the market is my little coin collector's place to purchase coins. Then we continue up. Sometimes it's a little harder for this small avatar to get on the ladders. Most regular avatars work just fine. Whoa! Alrighty then, and we come out into the florist. We've got crocuses, all of our different types of potted plants are here, as well as just looking really nice, displaying all of those for anyone that may wish to purchase them. So then we have, coming out of that side, we have a little fruit and veg market. We've got all of the fruits available within, put out on display plates. Go up again. And we're going to go over this way. Drops down into a tool vendor. Got tool barrels holding tridents and all kinds of stuff that can be purchased. And back out this direction, we have a small area for our bakery. We've got pies and all of the different confections from the anniversary event available for purchase in the bakery on this portion of the market complex. Okay, and we have another ramp over here on the side. I'm going to go past the ramp first, because even though this is a fantasy build, it still has to function as a functional island. So I've got my crafting area in here with all of the different benches and so forth that I might need. Currently forging copper in there, if I remember correctly. Of course, I've got my cooking level up here on the top, along with any materials that I need in that chest there. And it's somewhat of a hidden nook back here. Once I close the door, it's more of a hidden nook in the tree than just being out there for anybody and everybody to find. Popping up the ramp now. As we're coming around the corner, you get a bit of a view of the hanging restaurant. We'll talk about that in more detail in a minute. And the ramp actually goes up and into the branches of the tree. If you have a tall avatar, it might be a little bit squinchy for you. Okay, at the most of the top of the ramp, there's a left turn to go over the restaurant. We'll look at that again in a minute. And the right turn takes you further up into the second part of the marketing area, where you can go to the fishmongers right off to your left. You can go up and across. Oh, come on. Up and across to the coffee bar. So we've got ability for having coffees here. This kind of looked like a barista thing for me, so that's what we did for the barista. And there are 2 additional sections to the coffee shop. We can go up here for a little lounge area overlooking quite a bit of the island. And then there is also kind of sort of a secret area up here. You just pop on the slime block and get launched up into the tippy top of the trees. Nice views of everything, including the swan ship way off in the distance, but nice views around the island as well. So we are going to jump down now to where I showed the split in the road, go across to the hanging restaurant. So we have individual tables out here that have excellent views of the island. Each one is a private dining area. We have a special private dining going up via a spiral stair into the top of the trees. And then over here in the corner, every restaurant needs a kitchen, and it is actually inside the tree where the kitchen activities are going on. Again, a nice bit of crown molding up there. And we can run back around through the various connections to get to other portions of the marketing tree. So we are going to now go to back up near the coffee shop, but instead of going straight, we're going to go off to the left, and that'll take us over to the library. Elves are a studious people, so they're going to have access to plenty of reading material, nice lounge areas to relax and enjoy plenty of reading all across this area. They could, of course, bring their coffee over here as well. And just because the coffee shop has its own areas to lounge in doesn't mean you can't take it across to the library. Alrighty then, we are going to jump back down to the bottom. By the way, that tree over there, kind of separated from everything else, is the library tree. Part of the reason for the separation of the islands is that with the elves leaving, their magic that helps support their land has started to crumble. If you look around, you can find some secret spots where the islands themselves are crumbling, and then they're going to have to head off to the sea. So, one of the sad things about the elves is that they are leaving Middle-earth, and in the process of leaving, they need to be able to sail across the sea. So they are in the process now of loading up one of their swan ships. The swan ship here is down at the bottom of this hill outside of the city, anchored near the falls of the Nimrodel. And we've got a number of different barrels and crates that still need to be loaded on the ship. We've got barrels that are on the ship, etc. Now, there's not really a fantastic view of the ship for somebody on foot. So I'm going to go out here so that you can see it through flight. You've got, of course, the swan ship itself. You've got the falls going off. No need to worry about the ship. When it's time for them to leave, Elven magic will get them safely to the sea. So yeah, so that's the outside of the ship. And as we go on board, we see that we've got barrels and crates that have started to be loaded on. The captain's cabin back here is nice and efficient. going in. We've got a little officer's mess off to the side where they can chat and eat over a meal. We've got, of course, the captain's quarters for their own sleeping arrangements in the captain's quarters. And as we go downstairs, we end up in the crew's quarters. So we've got plenty of berths for the crew at large. We've got a number of things that have been packed. We've got individuals' chests that they have been able to store on the ship in various places and are ready for the journey to the west. And down in the lowest area of the ship is a hold that again has some of those personal artifacts and chests stored away, ready for the voyage. That is the end of my build, except for a few details I want to show off. So we've got the anchor and chain holding the ship in place. If you swim down here, you can see that the anchor is in the bottom of the water. Come on, get up. We've got the tiller for the boat, helping to control it. We've got the overall look of the swan that forms the basis for the ship. We've got a nice sail to get it wherever it needs to go. And we've got the totality of Caras Galadhon as a whole from a distance. It has been my pleasure to coordinate and work with my family to build this. They're an awesome team to help build anything with. And it has been my pleasure to give you a owner's tour of Caras Galadhon as completed within Skyreacher. Have a good night.